y'all, and happy new year, happy 2025. I cannot believe that it is already a new year. That is absolutely crazy to me. I just wanted to come on and show you the last sock pull of 2024, as well as just tell you a little bit about my New Year's Eve. My friend and I just went downtown and we visited Sundance Square, which is pretty famous in Fort Worth, and then we went to a little speakeasy bar. They gave us a free glass of champagne and we rang in the New Year's. And then when I got back, I did the sock pull. So the final socks of 2024 are Yoda and Mando with snowflakes, Star Wars written in Christmas colors, and then a very basic Yoda just chilling. So yeah, and that was pretty much it for my New Year's. I ended up staying up till midnight, so kudos to me. I feel like I'm turning into an old lady. But let's get on with the recap and the 1 second a day video from 2024. Hey y'all, and happy New Year's Eve. It is so crazy to me that it is the end of 2024. So I usually like to end Vlogmas and end the year with doing a little yearly recap. Sometimes I add photos on the screen and sometimes I don't. And then if you do follow me on Instagram, I'm going to do a December recap post. I'm probably not going to do a yearly recap, but I will probably post my 1 second a day video on Instagram, and I'm also going to put it at the end of this video. So, alright, well, first in January, I was finishing up my time as my first semester being an ETA, and so that was definitely really fun for me. That's when I really started to get into mahjong as well. So we did a lot of like mahjong at our mid-year conference, and then my school hosted their talent show and all that stuff. And then I got to go on all of my winter break trips. So I got to visit South Korea, I got to visit Singapore, I got to visit Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, and then going into February is when we finished out our Ho Chi Minh trip, and then I also got to go to Bangkok, and so that was really fun, just being able to visit all of those countries. And I got to walk with elephants, feed elephants. I did not bathe with the elephants because I could not get in the mud. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it, so I just watched all my friends do it. But honestly, Thailand was so much fun. And then also in February, I spent my first Lunar New Year actually in Taiwan. I got to hang out with my coworkers, and it was just really fun, like being able to travel. And then, the Lantern Festival was also in February. That was also really fun, being able to celebrate that in Taiwan. I got to watch the lanterns be released. It felt like a very Tangled Rapunzel moment. And then we'll go into March, and all of these months I did have like little mini trips around Taiwan that I took every now and then. I don't have like a composite list of like everywhere that I went all the time, but I got to go to a farm. I got to see sheep. I got to see something called Rainbow Village in Taiwan, which was really cool. And then I had Addison come visit me in Taiwan. He's been on my channel in a few videos, so we had fun together. I got to go snorkeling for the first time, and I got to see sea turtles underwater, and so that was really fun for me. And then I also got to feed deer, so lots of firsts. All right, and so then we get into April. So in April, I went to Capybara Cafe. I didn't get to go in and order anything, but they had all the capybaras outside, so it was really fun being able to see them. And then my fourth graders had an English reading competition. Basically, they just read a script that I helped to type up and practice with them, and so being able to watch them do that was really fulfilling as a teacher, especially because I don't stay with them all the time. So like being able to just know that even my twice a week just really helps them out. And then I also got to go visit Sun Moon Lake, and I went paddleboarding, and that was really fun because I really loved Sun Moon Lake. It was so pretty. I did not stand up on the paddleboards because I was way too afraid that I would like drop my phone in there. So that's April. And then in May, my school had their like sports day, which is kind of like field day in the US. So I got to perform, they got to run relays. We went on a little like boating tour as like our cultural event, all the ETAs. And then I went with my coworkers for a Mother's Day weekend where we got to make DIY handbags with leaves that we collected on a little nature hike. And I got to see fireflies for the first time, so I really enjoyed that. We also stayed in like this little cabin-y vibe kind of thing. We played a really fun game, and so I really enjoyed that. I missed them so much. Okay, and then I got to go to Tainan. I really loved Tainan. It was such an amazing city. The food was so good. Their night markets were so good, and we went to some really cool museums while we were there. So if you ever go to Taiwan, highly recommend Tainan. So much fun. I also met up with some high school friends who were in Taiwan, and then my friend had a birthday party on a boat, and then we had one of our final workshops of the year. So all the ETAs have workshops once a month, so that was one of our final workshops. And then I got to teach the second graders Cotton Eye Joe, so I think they really enjoyed that. At least I enjoyed watching them learn it. I tried to make it pretty easy for them. And then to start off June, kicking off June with Alishan, that was the most beautiful national park I've ever been to. I saw a tea farm. It was gorgeous. It's one of my favorite photos that I've ever taken in my life, and I'm not even a professional photographer, but I just really loved Alishan. It was beautiful, it was calm, it was cool, and like it just felt peaceful, and yeah, really enjoyed that. And then my sixth graders went on a little graduation hike, and so I got to go with them, and it felt kind of full circle because that was the place that I had hiked when I first moved to Taiwan, like back in August. So it felt very full circle to do it again in June at the end of the year. And then we had Dragon Boat Festival. I got to compete. I did make a video about that, but I really enjoyed doing that with all my friends. Even though we lost like so bad, we all had a lot of fun, and I think the local people really enjoyed watching us as well. And then my sixth graders graduated, so I got to go to their graduation, and they surprised me with a yearbook, and it was so sweet. I almost started crying, and I almost started crying at the graduation ceremony as well. I think just being in that position is like such a different vibe and a different feel, and so just being able to like watch them graduate, and they had fun. They had a lot of games, and it was just really fun. And then we had our farewell dinner. We had the CEO of Fulbright Taiwan, or whatever he's called. He came down, and then I met up with some professors that were visiting from Worcester. I went to one last art museum with the third grade, and then we had our last day of school, and then I finally flew back to the US at the end of June. And then most of July was just spent at home, catching up with people that I hadn't seen, and just enjoying spending time with my family, and then getting ready to move and to pack. And so that's how August started. It was a lot of just, you know, the same thing, getting to pack and move to Michigan. And so I moved to Michigan in August, and I had my orientation. Also in July, I learned how to play American Mahjong, so that was a really big difference for me. And so then after my orientation in September, I started my classes, and I started them right after Labor Day. I was officially a grad student, and so September was a lot of just figuring out everything, figuring out what life was going to be like for the next year. And then in October, I didn't do much in October. Oh, I did go visit some friends. They were here for fall break, and then I went to Worcester for alumni weekend, and I also adopted my cat in October, who I'm absolutely obsessed with, and I love her so much. So that was definitely one of the highlights of my year, was getting to adopt her. And then in November, it was my birthday, and so I got to do a fun little like birthday things with family and friends. And then I went home for Thanksgiving, so it was really nice being able to see everyone for Thanksgiving. And then in December, I finished out my first semester. I had my ballet shows. My mom and sister came up to Michigan, and then we all came down for Christmas. And then, you know, you've been watching my December through my Vlogmas. And I have so many photos of my cat after I got her in my camera roll, but I love her so much. I'm obsessed with her. So that is just pretty much my whole 2024. That's my 2024 recap. It was a lot of travels, and I know that 2025 will not have as many travels because I'll pretty much be in school the whole 2025, but maybe in 2026 there will be some fun travels ahead. So I hope you enjoyed listening to my recap. I have really truly enjoyed this last year on YouTube with you all, and I'm looking forward to making more videos next year. So now I hope you enjoy my 1 second a day video. You would think it would be 4 minutes and 5 seconds because that would be 365, but I think it always ends up going slightly over. So I hope you enjoy my 1 second a day. I hope you all had a wonderful New Year's Eve. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Thanks for following along with my Vlogmas videos. I will be back to my regularly scheduled weekly uploads. And I will see you all in the new year. Bye.